Hello everyone, I'm Terry Duke and welcome to Duke It Out. Normally I don't produce videos this fast, but about 2 days ago, I watched a recent Jubilee video starring Mediasan against 20 far-right conservatives, and well, I have some thoughts I wanted to share while it's still relevant. If you're watching this, I'd be very surprised if you don't already know what Jubilee is, but to sum it up, just in case, Jubilee is a YouTube channel that mastered the art of turning the current culture war into the worst entertainment there is. Rage bait, whether that's getting people who completely disagree with each other to disagree with each other on camera, or some weird games revolving around social trends, there's few channels I can think of where everyone who watched the content know from the very start that nothing constructive can be achieved here, we're solely watching it because it's entertaining. The latest series from Jubilee to really blow up across the online political sphere is Surrounded, a series in which a political pundit will sit in the center of a room, while 20 people from an opposite ideology will take turns debating any of the topics brought up by the person sitting in the middle. And for anyone even remotely invested into politics, you should see immediately why this is a horrible format for debates. The fact that there is a timer limiting the length of the debate, that the surrounding people can choose at any time to vote out the person currently debating, regardless of whether they're making good points or not, let alone the fact that people have to play the musical chair just to debate, which doesn't guarantee the best debater will get the chair. Everything is designed to maximize the entertainment while restricting any real good debate from taking place. But also, much like reality TV, the people picked to debate aren't your average person. They are specifically picked because their personalities and views will make for a good show, and many of them are political pundits themselves and grifters who will say just about anything on camera solely for the clout. And Jubilee will keep bringing them back for more videos. But in spite of this concept making irresistible rage bait, the real problem fundamentally is how this results in the platforming of people who really shouldn't have a platform to spread their ideas. I mean, one doctor against 20 anti-vaxxers? What's next? A climate scientist against 20 climate deniers? One Holocaust survivors versus 20 Holocaust deniers? At some point you need to draw a line over what kind of rhetoric you want to allow on your channel, whether it's being challenged or not. Unless you're Jubilee, for whom it's all about the clicks. Now, I don't really watch Jubilee, but I think like a lot of people, the real appeal of watching Surrounded is if you're a fan of the person being surrounded and you want to see them crush 20 other people. In my case, this led me to watch the Sam Seder one, since I'm a big fan, but I also let myself watch the recent one with Mediasan because I'm also a fan and he's a really good debater. Overall, I would say Mediasan did a terrific job. He did not yield an inch on anything, he was phenomenal at pointing out the contradictions, and even landed a few burns here and there. But it was also a deeply disturbing video, as a lot of the people he debated were clearly fascists, if they didn't say it openly themselves, then through their politics and open bigotry. But the saddest part though, was all the useful idiots in the ring, the few people of color who for some inexplicable reason consider themselves far-right in spite of their white counterparts, strongly implying throughout the debate that they would go after them too with their ideas. And to really get to that point, I want to make a broader argument against the far right by quickly going over Sam Seder's video as well. Sam Seder did about as well as Mehdi did, I mean, both are excellent debaters. However, Sam's video did not explicitly feature the far right. His debate was against Trump supporters and revolved around the economy, government programs, as well as social issues. But among the people there were nonetheless a few far-right people, including a theocrat and a self-proclaimed xenophobic nationalist. And the main problem I had with the Sam Seder video is that because the range of topics was so wide, there was an underlying issue throughout the video that ultimately was never addressed by Seder or anyone else. And it's that if any one of these 20 Trump supporters had their way and could shape society as they saw fit, they would inevitably all oppress each other. One such debater who seemed pretty oblivious to that is a recurrent guest on Jubilee called Michael, who at one point in the video asked people to raise their hands if they would oppose gay people kissing in public. Not as a law conveniently, but just as a principle. And he had to look on as several people did raise their hands, all letting him know they don't want to see him be himself in public. And then he's like, well, the point is that it's just their opinions, but they're not forcing them on anybody, so it's fine. Which is a problem because just before he got on, we had to sit through Eleazar, a fundamentalist Christian who argued gay people should be made to be straight, as per the Bible.
We're going to have stable family households. Sorry about better education.
People, gay people should be outlawed.
They should be straight. They should be
Women.
straight.
So, if Eleazar had his way, Michael would have to cut his hair and be made to dress more conventionally masculine, lest he be sent to conversion therapy. Later on, we also get Sarah, who comes right out the gate as a xenophobic nationalist, preaching both a theocracy and a white ethno-state. So if she had her way, Michael would be thrown into a camp for not being white, as would Eleazar, in spite of the latter also being a Christian. But also in Elazar's world, he doesn't want women to vote and actually believe women should submit to their husbands, which means Sarah would be the one getting oppressed. And that's the main point. In the political spectrum defined by a hierarchy of power, the furthest to the right someone goes, the less amount of people find themselves at the top. It's a game of exclusion, ranging from the non-believers, the queers and trans, the immigrants, the woman, and not necessarily in that order. But in such a structure, it is utterly baffling to me that some people of color would align themselves with these ideologies, fight the same fights, share the same rhetoric, and somehow not realize that by virtue of not being white themselves, some of the people they side with would put them next in line to the camps. This could be noticed easily in the Sam Seder video, but it's only explicitly acknowledged with Mediasan, which I really appreciated, as he's exclusively debating the far right, where, surprise surprise, Michael can be seen here as well, although he never makes it to the chair. Now, as I've said earlier, some of the contents of the video are disturbing, mainly because what is being said so openly is being said openly. Whereas a decade ago you'd get a Nazi rally in Charlottesville leading to everyone going back into hiding on the internet after the immense backlash, these same people today are on a channel of 10 million subscribers openly spewing the same garbage and feeling quite comfortable doing so. And the truth is, as Mehdi says himself at some point, you can't really debate fascism. What is there to debate when the other person doesn't believe in democracy, except as a means to reach his preferred form of totalitarianism? But when it's being so obvious like in this video, you can't not see it, you know? And when the topic is immigration, and you're debating someone who is fundamentally incorrect in every aspect, but really deep down they're just driven by their racism, well, inevitably, this happens.
But listen to me. I am an immigrant. I'm speaking from personal experience.
Get the hell out.
I don't even like... I should get the hell out.
Yes.
Why?
I don't want you here.
Why?
Because you come here and say all this bullshit
Why?
about how Americans are lazy.
Why?
And the reason I'm making this video is to talk about what happens next. You see, there are people of color in this group. There are immigrants. And while you could give them the benefit of the doubt that they don't really talk to these other people and just have been clueless this whole time, now it's been made as clear to them as it can be that white fascists in the group don't want them. Doesn't matter whether they are citizens or agree with 90% of the stuff. The problem is that they are not white. They can't change it. And Mehdi really brings this home when the next debater, an Iranian immigrant, comes on to debate immigration.
Let's put it this way. I mean, I'm an immigrant too, from Iran.
Okay.
There isn't even
How
a
do you
US...
feel about the fact that people here want you out? Are you okay with that?
I'm here to debate you, not debate them.
Wait, this is the topic of immigration.
It's not
How
about
do you feel about the
it's
guy?
not about my feelings towards them.
Okay.
It's about staying on this topic.
Oh,
You
sorry?
wasted time trying to cause division between me and my friends
Division.
over
He
here.
wants you to leave the country. That's a pretty big deal.
All
I
right.
mean, you can ignore
Like
it,
you
but
said,
that's your side, my friend.
Like I said,
You
you were
made
the
your
one
bed.
that tried to derail this argument.
I mean, that's what it's all about, isn't it? The previous debater made it clear that he would not want either of these two there, whether they agree with him or not. So that's a pretty important factor to consider. Why is this guy refusing to address how he feels about that? That he doesn't want to address it isn't just embarrassing, it's genuinely confusing. Don't you care about yourself? Do you hate yourself so much that you would side with someone wanting to deport you? But that's just the start though. The real shock comes next. This next guy, Edwin, I could be wrong, but I feel like it clicked for him that the far right is not on his side. It's as if he's processing all of that in real time.
Actually, I was an illegal immigrant myself. I came here when I was 10. I'm what you would call a legal alien now. I didn't have any say on my parents' choices.
Yes.
Do I think that there's ever a situation where you can break the law for the better or the greater good? Immigration is it's an interesting issue because I do agree with you that
Good to hear.
everyone is an immigrant in the sense like
Sorry, you've been voted out.
Voice.
Please return to your seat.
thank you, man.
And I mean, at this point, I don't know him. He is on that panel, so it's possible he has other very problematic views. But really, that's what I wanted to point out by making my own video. Whether you're an immigrant, or a person of color, or LGBTQ+, you need to understand this, and I cannot stress it enough. The fascists will not pick you. You cannot side with people who genuinely think you are inferior to them, who, in their worldview, see you as either subjugated, expelled, or killed. Like I said, I hate that these videos exist. I hate that these fascists were given such a massive platform to speak out. But if anything good's gonna come out of this, it's Mediasan exposing the death cult that is fascism to people of color and other minority groups who seem to have fallen for it. Although in that group I would not include this guy. He's clearly a grifter. I don't think he's fallen for it. I think he's just doing it for attention. And this one, he's an absolute scumbag who deserves the day he voted for. But all of these other guys, please, you will not be picked. You don't want to join the left? I don't care. But don't side with the people who hate you. They don't care about you. Get out.